Hello and welcome. So we are back and we are going to be working on the Let's Create. And I want to go over the kit. The kits did ship today and there are more. So if you want to order these over at countrycraftcreations.com, at the end I'll get you a link. But tonight we'll be finishing and doing all the inside of our cute little album. And I'll give you all the measurements, but I'll also show you the kit. But then again, this is a very cute album that you can use any paper with, but was it not perfect with this one? Yeah, absolutely perfect. Now, we may not get the shaker and the things done tonight. If not, because I don't like to go past 2 hours. You know how it is to sit there, then I will do this on Monday. I know that Monday is Memorial Day, but I'll do it later in the afternoon or in the evening after, all the festivities. So we will continue on. But let me go ahead and so I do have everything ready. But I want to show you the kit and some ish. They weren't issues that I just had to make some changes. And so I made some adaptations and it's going to be still absolutely wonderful, and I will be showing how I used it in this one for the tutorial. When I got down to Doodlebug, one thing that they did not have was one of the ephemera packs. It is already sold out. And it's okay because I didn't use very many from it, and you would have had a ton left over. So your kit, let me show you, the kit is packed. Your kit will have, oh, I threw the package away, didn't I? The kit's going to have the ephemera words. And then they were completely out of these tiny icons. So they have, I'll show you the different ones. We didn't use a lot on them anyway. So this is going to be a better bang for your buck. Plus, no, well, and I did not get the website updated, but I need to let you know. And we use mostly this anyway. And it's actually, you're getting a little more for your money. So let me show you what is in your total kit. Your kit is going to contain the ephemera words. So before we get started, and it will have your pre-cut chipboard, and you actually get 12 inches of the teal, 12 inches of the teal, and then the 6 inches of the yellow. So you have plenty. I gave you extra if you need to cut it a little bit longer, but isn't that just gorgeous? So you have those two colors in your kit and the little yellow that we're going to use for the tags, plus you're going to have extras. So this was the substitute, was your puffy stickers, which I love because it does look like this has been handmade with the drops, and I love scrapbooking. So we're going to use these cameras. We're actually going to use a lot more in here than I did on the other ones. Hi, Monica. And so again, if you ordered this kit, it did ship today. And then we're going to use the I Love Scrapbook. So we got all of our our Bella Pops. These are Bella Pops. We didn't have to trade any of those. But let me show you. You are going to get your papers, and you're going to get, instead of just a partial sheet, you're going to get the full sheet of the heavy acetate by Doodlebug. Can you see that okay? So you get a full sheet, not a partial sheet. And so that is in your kit. So you're going to have the whole thing. So you can also use this on other projects, or if you've bought more of the shaker frames, then you will get um you're going to have so much left over. And then of course you'll have your shaker frame, which I hope to get to tonight. So these are all in your kit, and then all the paper. As you can see, I cut into mine already, and because I wanted to be completely ready tonight. So I'm hoping we could just get through this. I can give you the measurements, and I'm going to have to put you on mute for 1 second. Hello, so I'm back. Okay, I just had to get a rundown. You know how barnwood is amazing, right? Well, we just got a truckload. And so I had to check out what he brought home. The whole idea is tonight I've got everything prepared like never before. So I had Tanya would be super proud. Look at this. It's not on there. I just used my temporary. I'm going to go through. I'm going to give you the measurements. We'll do the matting together. And I hope you guys, I don't know if you can hear the dogs or not. I hope you guys have as much fun as I did creating this one because this was just a fun, especially the way you make the pages. Let me put that aside. And what we're going to do first is we're going to get started with, let me show you this, this one, and nothing's attached. I'll be taking it off with you. We're going to create this and so I will take this all apart and then create it with you. That's our first fold down. And you are going to use, well, I used magnets. Now you don't have to, you could do a tie, but I did use magnets. So I'll get those out. And now I just want to remove, I'm going to remove everything because we're going to build it together. Okay. I love my temporary tape. And this will help you also. Just kind of get an idea. The matting I did. But I'm going to go back through it with you. So no worries. And this just helps me to be ready with no mistakes when I come on with you guys. And there we go. Okay. So if you have your notebooks, the first cards, and I'm going to go slow so that if you are cutting along with me. So is anybody working with me? Did you get the cover and the pages done, or were you just waiting for your kit? This thing behind me. So the first thing you want to do with your cardstock is you want a piece that is 6 inches by 10. Okay. And we want a 6 by 10, and we want a 10.5 by 6. So with my 10.5 by 6 in the scoreboard, you would score at 1/2 inch and 5 1/2 inch. Hi, Diane. So 1/2 and 5 for our little accordion. And this again is 6 inches by 10.5. Okay. Score at 1/2 inch and 5 1/2 inch. Now this is my 6 inch by 9 or 6 inch by 10, and we want to just score in the middle at 5. So now each section, did I just go blurry? I'm blurry. You guys, is the camera pretty? I'm going to clean off my, hold on. Sorry. It looks really clean on my streaming here. Is it, I don't know why it's blurry. Okay, I'm going to turn this camera off for a minute. You're going to see me go blank. It's going to go dark, guys, for just a minute so I can check my setting and fix it. I hope. And let me turn off the autofocus. And I'll be coming back on here in just a moment. And let's check out the camera. I'm back, guys. Do you see me? There we go. Okay, looks good now. I hope so. So once again, I have the 10-inch across the top, and I'm going to score at 5. And I already did score my 10.5 by 6-inch piece at 1/2 and 5.5. So now I can get out my glue. I have the temporary on there. It doesn't hurt anything. And we need to burnish those score lines. Okay, so first I'm going to fold it in half. Then this will be kind of like backwards so that it's like this. We're going to burnish this in half. I'm going to turn this over and I want to add glue here. And then we'll just attach these two guys together. And it doesn't matter right now if you're folded backwards, but because you can just refold it the other way. But this is what you kind of want, is that M. So fold that way. Fold it backwards and burnish, and over the top and burnish. Okay, so in my book, I have it opening this way. Hi, Jen. So I'm going to put my magnets here and here. A big one's probably, oh, well, this is pretty thick paper. Okay. Now, for the cover, first I took off of my cut apart sheet. So from your cut apart sheet, you want to cut out I pack light. Now, when it comes off the cut apart sheet, it has the wording at the bottom. And it looks like, let's see if I still have one. I don't. And everybody just, you guys grabbed all of the kits, which is pretty cool. We got some more made, so they're online. So I don't have the extra sheets to show you with. I didn't expect them all to go so fast, but it's a good thing they did, because this line for Bella Boulevard did really well. In fact, Doodlebug is having to print more. But when you first cut it out, it's 4 by 6. Now I did cut it down to 5.5 by 4. Well, 3 7/8 basically. And how I did that was, you know how I put it in my cutter, and I just take an 1/8 inch all the way around. So I take an eighth of an inch off and an eighth of an inch, another eighth of an inch, and another eighth of an inch. And then if you need to cut it down a little bit more, you can do that. And every one of the mattings that I'm going to use are going to be 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. So you do want to watch the orientation of your papers. So they're all 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. And this is going to go on my front cover. And we have the stripes, but the wording, I love scrapbooking, just friends, just the girls. Temporary glue will come right off, but you don't really have to worry about that coming off. Forgot my scraper again. So who's excited for a long weekend of crafting? Me. I know I am. Okay, this is going to go on the front. Now, when you're cutting into the sheet, you're going to notice we need a piece for our frame. And it's going to be taken on your 12 by 12 sheet. This is on the right hand side, and this is on the left hand side. So when you cut this, I just cut 6 up the middle because we want to make sure we have this to cover our frame. So when you cut your cut apart off the cut apart sheet on the right hand side, just keep that left hand side and set it aside for now. Don't cut into it if you're wanting the same look that I'm doing. And then I did a strip, which was just left over, at a 1/2 inch by 5 7/8. It needed some color. I'm not measuring, I'm just putting it here at the bottom. Like I said, just to add some color. Hi, Marcy. Okay, doesn't really matter. I probably won't put these back in the same order. They're kind of wanting to stick because of the temporary. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I use the floral, and I'm going to use the yellow plaid, which is the back of our tool sheet, and they are all measuring the same, 4 7/8 by 5 7/8, and we're just going to place those down, and then I can go back and add my photos, which I had hoped to have them all printed off, and I never got to it this week. I think it was all a crazy week for everybody. And it went by so fast. Oh my gosh, way fast. Tama Lee needs a vacation? Oh, me. Oh, yeah. Love the yellow plaid. It's so bright and pretty. Yeah, and today I know was the last day of school for almost everybody. So that's, I mean, summer is underway. Oh, Nick has one more week? I did not know that. That one I know is on the back side. So I'm going to take the pink and the black. Oh, 3 more days? Oh, yeah, our kids were done today. The high schoolers, the seniors, all graduated this week. Kindergartners graduated. I thought that was actually really cute. My one granddaughter had her kindergarten graduation. Oh, okay. Well, longer fall break's kind of nice. Monica, a few more weeks. Oh, I'd go crazy. Well, we do start early. We start like August, what, 23rd-ish or something like that. So they get 10 weeks off. And as we know, by then we're all ready to send them back. Why? Really? You're going to, oh, Diane, I don't blame you. This week I have been in my craft room almost 24/7 between that and the store, working on projects. I finally am having a chance to do that. Super happy. Yes, we got to see her she shed during a Zoom once, and it was really awesome. And it just, when you have a she shed, we always know, the guys, they have their man caves, but our she sheds, I mean, it just transports us to this different world of peace and quiet. Okay. Now for the back side, I'll just go with the green. Love the green. And another piece of that I love paper, just the script. I love this. I needed to fill my glue bottle and forgot. Now, when we get done, I'll give you a sneak peek. I'm going to finish it this weekend of the wedding album I've been making. We have 2 neighbors getting married next month. Their daughters. And one is going to be a super, super cute wedding, but it's a carnival. And actually, everybody now, if you got to see our videos of our birthday retreat here in person, well, my husband Rick, he made a candy cart. I wanted it for the store anyway. Had I known our whole neighborhood now was going to use it for their daughters' weddings, so needless to say, it's not in the store yet. We've had some people come in wanting to see it in person, and well, it's not going to make it there till after June now because it's being used in neighborhood weddings. And one is a carnival wedding. It's her second wedding, so she's doing it at a carnival. And we're going to build a fence backdrop out of old fence boards, but I don't know what kind of wedding album to make her. I need some suggestions for a carnival. I have no idea. I have got to get creative on this because I really want to make her album. And I'm kind of think, of course, without the words, some of this bright, pretty paper, even something with Doodlebug. I don't know. It's her second wedding, so it'll be pretty cute. Okay, so all together, you're going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not going to mat the back because we're going to put that down in our book now. I thought of that too, Jennifer, but I think it's too scary. It kind of is a scary paper. So on the inside, front and back, we're going to use the black Bella Besties, and I already have that cut. See, that's my front cover. Even have all my tags. Oh, okay. Where'd my Bella Besties black one go? See, I was very organized. Hmm. You know what? Oh, I put it back in here. Okay, there's one, but it looks like I may have cut into one. Oh, and I have to let you know, in your kit, you're going to have paper. You're going to have a almost full sheet of paper left. You're going to have plenty of paper left so that you can go a little rogue on this. Okay, so before we put this down, I do need to cut another one. So this is the piece I'm using. And our cover is 5.5 by 6.5. Hi, Tiffany. That's okay. You're probably used to me going live at 5:30. I need to go live at 5 because I got to get done in time because Wilbur and Homer and Charlotte, if I don't go out back and play ball, well, they told me they're going to put me on. They've given me a warning basically. So that came off. So our cover's 5.5 by 6.5. So this is going to be 5 3/8. Well, we're going to go with 6 3/8. I must have cut the other one thinking it was, I don't know, or I didn't cut two. And then we're going to go with 5 3/8 because you don't really see a lot of this. And I just liked the black. And we'll go ahead and put these down on both inside front and inside back cover. And you can choose what side to use. Like I said, you're not going to see much of it. Just a piece of cardstock there. That edge didn't seem like it was down. Nope, it's not. And we'll put the same on the back. For this side, I'll use the dot on dot. Now, the nice thing is, any tutorial that we do, just remember you can use any of the papers from Country Craft Creations. If you don't want to do Scrappy and you just want to do this for a cute little birthday, Baby, it is a quick gift. You can definitely get this done in a weekend. These are, and I will get you my link on Amazon because I do have an associate's link for these. These are cotton sack towels, and then I just wash them, see, and then I bring them down, and I cut them. So I just cut them with my pinking shears. I don't even, I used to serge them, but I don't anymore. I just pinking shear them, and totally lint free. You can wash them, keep reusing them, and I just pop them in the washing machine. Okay, back to my inside front cover. I am now going to put down the little accordion we just created. And I can Google, if you go on Scrapbookers, you might be able to find the link, but I will get you that link and put it in Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. And I'm just doing an eyeball type centering. We'll lift up the very back cover. Oh, I didn't know that happened. We have the black cardstock, the blue, and then the black again, so that looks kind of cool. I didn't even plan it. Now you can also, you know what? Well, the magnet really should have been back here. That's why it lifted up so easy. So, I don't know if I did use a magnet now. Did I use a magnet? I did, but it's on the back. So it might be a good thing. That will flip, but then there's a magnet. It should be back here underneath this cardstock. Oh well. One of my oops for tonight, but it still stays flat. Okay, let's do the back. The back, if you remember, was a pocket. And for this pocket, on this original one, I did not do accordions. Now we're going to do it as an accordion because there just is not going to be enough room. I realize that. And I have a temporary here, but I'm going to remake this with you. Okay. So that you'll get the whole, I can show you exactly how to make it. But this is going to be 12 inches by 6 inches. So I want you to cut a 12 by 6 inch piece of cardstock. And I can use black because I didn't grab a navy piece. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 6 by 12. Like I said, I hope you guys are writing down your instructions. I did not write down instructions for this. I just sat down one weekend and made it, and then I thought, let's just do it, and jumped into it and didn't write down anything. So sometimes this paper is like this. Because when it's cut at the mill, different cutters are different. And you might have to take a little bit off the artisan cardstock. And we're going to score this at 3 inches and 8 inches. Then we want to put the 6 inch across the top. We're going to score at 1.5, 1, and 1.5. And then we want to I like to turn it over and score it 1/2, 1, and 1.5. Okay, that's wrong. That's what I get for not writing things down. Okay, if you're writing this down, scratch that out. It's 9 by 6. No, it's 9 by 12, not 6, 9 by 12. I was going by the old one where I did not put the gusset. Okay, 9 by 12. Score it 3 and 8. 9 across the top and score it 1/2, 1, and 1.5. And now I'll turn it around and score it again at 1/2, 1, and 1.5. See, I'll keep this, but see, that would have made a really little pocket. Okay, we have 3" at the top, and you might want to mark that because we don't want to cut, but we do want to cut out this middle section. No, we do want to cut the 3". There we go. We don't want to cut the bottom section where we scored this at 8 inches. If I turn it this way, it's at 4, so I'm going to put an X here. So we don't want to cut out, we don't want to cut these bottom, but we do want to cut out the 3" part and the middle part. You can do this either with your ruler and your straight edge, or you can do it right in your cutter. And I'm going to put it in the cutter. And it's 1.5 inch. But I like to go over just a little bit of the 1.5 so that I cut out the whole score line. But not too much. Now we want to stop. I know it's hard to see on black, so it would stop at the 8 inches, and we want to try and not go over. And I turn it over to repeat. Or again, you can use your straight edge and a ruler. And if you don't go all the way down, you can then just clip it with your scissors. And then I just fold up the bottom. And we'll trim at an angle. So it now looks like this. And I just do a slight trim on the bottom. Okay. Doesn't matter. We're going to just start with one of the sides and fold it in, and then accordion it back and back to the inside. And we'll do the same to the opposite side. Just fold all 1.5 inches in. And we're going to fold that up to create the accordion pocket here on the bottom. The top is going to be the closure or the flap. And if you are rounding your corners, and I want to show you something else. So I did do the thumb hole or the notch right here. So you do want to mat this first. And I'll show you on the other one now that we've got this construction pretty much done. I'll show you that in a minute when I mat it. So after you do the matting, because it's easier, you would mat this piece where the accordions are. This is the notch punch. Such a cool little, I love it. Or you can use your envelope punch, or you can leave it. You don't have to have that. Or you can use your corner, you can use a rounded one of your circles and just do partial and make a half moon there. Now we'll add the adhesive. And I'll be doing this again here in a moment. Then we'll just close it up. Magnet here, magnet on the flap, and that will be our accordion pocket. Okay, now I'm going to duplicate that here. And I'll go ahead and take off the matting that I already have. And on this one, remember, we're not going to put it all the way together. This was where I did mention that if you wanted to use a glitter paper or like the gold, that was not in your kits, because you can buy the tonic that we have online and you can choose your own colors. I know you are not a fan of yellow. I've heard that. But the glitter just gives it that little pop of fun. So I really loved it. So see, I have mine all ready to go here. I'll go ahead and round my corners. I'm using the biggest. You guys are really, really quiet. Okay, this was that other part of our polka dots. So remember, when cutting this, you want to be strategic. You're going to cut out that cut apart 4x6 first. This will come from the top of that sheet above your cut apart. And then if you cut it just off of that right hand side of 6 inches, then you will have plenty when we go to wrap your frame. Okay. You're hypnotized. I don't know if that's good or if that's bad, Monica. Maria, yeah, some crafters, well, just some people are not a fan of yellow. I do love yellow, but I do know that there are some that don't, and that's okay. I'm one of those that I don't think there's any color I don't like. I love colors. Okay, this is 6 inches. I'm just going to make a mark at 3 inches. And we're going to take our notch. And this thing has great, great, great markings. Again, you can use your envelope punch. I'm just going to take that down the center. We don't need to mat the back because we're going to glue that down. Now, before we do close this, okay, I did cut from this I Love Scrapbooking. I cut a strip off that was 1 7/8. you'll cut the whole thing. It'll be 1 7/8 by 12, and then you're going to cut it down to 5 7/8. This is just going to sit on the inside, so it looks like we matted the whole inside, so it looks pretty. Don't you guys just love Friday night craft nights? I think Friday night is such a good night. I used to do them Mondays, and then I moved to Wednesdays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I think I like Fridays best. What do you guys like? Now well, we can go ahead and now close this up. So I have my accordions. Blue is a little bit, excuse me, blue is a little bit easier to see. Just going to reburnish. Now I'm going to be able to get like my loose photos and more in this little pocket. We're just going to close that up. Make sure everything looks good on the side before we burnish, because that makes it permanent. I think so too, Bert. Okay, I love Friday nights, and since we really don't go out Friday nights, if, we do that during the week. Now that we're older and retired, we can do that whenever we want. But I love it. I love Friday nights crafting, and really, it gives hubby just a chance to do what he wants to do out in the garden and stuff. So. Yes, I love that too, Rhea. So I'm just going to pinch it for a minute. Now, see, I've got lots more space in there. So I like to put loose photos, or we'll get really, just cute little things at the retreats that we can put in here as little keepsakes. And yes, you know what I did? I forgot my magnet because we were busy talking. So we're going to have 2 stripes. Magnet should go first. I am so out of the habit of using magnets. We kind of went to using ribbon, and I've got to get back in the habit because I'll be using them more. So what I'm going to do is, and I do like using Velcro, but Velcro does sit on the outside. All right, so that's okay. We're going to have a design addition here. So I originally have this one down here. You're not going to see that one, but I do want to cover that magnet. A couple reasons. That's not wide enough. It protects it. Oh, good. So I do have a little strip left. And since that is a little bit bigger, I'm actually going to cut a full 1-inch piece. I love this. And it's going to be 5 7/8. Like I said, you won't see it. No, until you open it. Okay. I do too. I love the magnets, and I've been working with this USA-based company, thanks to one of my designers, Debbie, while she was here, Allie, and they make bigger and smaller magnets than I've ever seen. So we're just waiting for the samples to get made, and I'm super excited because we'll have more leeway to add them into your kits. That's one thing and you know me, they're USA made. But these are still great magnets, our basic gray and our tonic. But when we can get USA made, there's nothing better. Okay, so I'm just going to have to work that magnet around the magnet for a minute because this is thicker paper. And we do want it to stick down. It's so pretty and shiny. Yeah, it does show a little bit more with the glitter, but that's okay. All right. And I'm still going to put the little guy down here. And he is, if you want an accent piece, it also can be one of the leftover other papers, but it's 3/4 of an inch by 5 7/8. And this one we will see. Okay, 3 inches by 6 inches. So I cut, you'll see what I cut it from. You'll see this on the cut apart sheet. It came from there. And it's 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. And the whole idea about this album, when I was folding the pages, I wanted to make sure we were making everything like the pages where it was just one unit. We didn't have to have a bunch of different, the flap separate, the accordion separate. I wanted this to be like a origami fold album, right? We wanted it to just kind of be something that you don't have to take when you go to an event and you're wanting to work on this at a crop. All you're going to do is fold your papers, and there's not a lot of pieces and parts that go to it. So we had to keep the envelope that way. When it closes, there we go. Now our top pieces, they were on here. There they are. Okay. So first we're going to start with the cameras. Back side is that black horizontal or stripe. So I cut my cameras at 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. I have one more place in the book for a magnet. So I need to make sure I don't mess that up. Okay, then I took my yellow. Now, if I wasn't using the glitter paper, see, I would have used like one of the other colors, maybe, and did a strip of 3/4 inch by 5 7/8 for the top. And I do have, I'm just going to leave a little space there. Okay, I want to grab this. Now, we're going to use, I want to show you, this came from this right here. And then I do use inside of the book, well, we're going to use the back side also. Not a lot of it, but we're going to use, let me show you the word. So I'm going to end up using part of this to make a 3x4 fold over that holds that shut. And I know there's another place I used it. Oh, the back. So I used the back, which is your plaid. And here's what I did for that. So the back side's not directional. And I knew I wasn't going to use this top part. So when I get there, I'll explain to you. That's where I cut this from. The 2 7/8 by 4 7/8, and I'll show that to you. But that's the only place else that I used it. And I also will use some of these other strips. And that's then down here is we're going to make our card from. And so you can go ahead if you wanted to put this down now, or you can wait. You may not want this one. You may want this one. Or you can just cut out this little strip. And I love this one. Creative minds are rarely tidy, which that one would have fit really well too. There's no tidy about us and our scrap desk, let me tell you. So I did cut it 5 7/8, so it will fit right on the top. And we're just going to put that in the middle of either the glitter, or you can use just a different coordinating paper or a mirror paper. Then we have a cute envelope here. Now, down here at the bottom from your sticker sheet is where we're going to get that cute little scallop. Okay. Well, it's actually on the side. And what I like to do with these guys, oh, you know what? You can also use this. And I did use this on the first one. I'm sorry for what I said when I ran out of adhesive. Sorry for what I said. So it was sorry for what I said when I ran out of added, you know what that word is, adhesive. So with my sticker sheet, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to actually put my sticker sheet in the cutter, and I'm going to separate the cute little scallops, but you got to kind of play with it for a minute to make sure we're not going to cut into our letters too much or that. And now I've got that cut, and I'm going to separate this black one. I'm going to actually cut that a little bit. It's too long. There we go. To make it easier. Just a little too long for the cutter. There we go. Now there's a reason I'm doing all this work. I'll show you. It just, oh, did I cut off the top of those little guys? No, I did not. I thought I did for a minute. You have to be careful. Okay. Now, this one right here. See, I only need it to be 5 7/8, but I like it to be fitting nice. So I'm going to put it in my cutter at 5 7/8. And I'm not going to go through this one. I'm just going to watch my cutter till I go through the bottom one, and then I have the perfect size. And I don't have to try and put it back on there, and then it won't stick, and I end up throwing it in the garbage anyway. And then that's going to go on top of my yellow glitter. Now, I know that it's a lot. This is a busy paper, but it's all about scrapbooking, so it's a fun, happy paper. How'd I get that too short? And I got it too short, guys. Okay, we'll save him for another time. Cut this off so we match a little better. I need it to be this way. Take this up. How did I get that too short? That's better. And I've already got glue on there. So I'll just put this on top of that glue that's already there. Okay, that's better. Now we can put the pocket in our book. And this is the back cover. Once again, we'll open the cover and just burnish it down. All right. I am just going to pop some clothespins on there for the corners. And we're going to move now to the front of the book. I'll just take these off so I can give you the measurements. So another thing you'll want to use, well, you don't have to use, let me put it that way, but it was not in the kit, is the white, but you can also use your pattern papers to mat for your photo spots. So here we have this cute little, just a photo spot with the little eat, sleep, scrap, and repeat. And this piece, now I need to go back and make sure it's in the words. I think it is. If not, we will do a different one here. Sometimes that's the problem with making the prototypes. Then you go to purchase everything and they're like, nope, we're out of them. So we will be using a different one of embellishments for the left-hand side. So that's what we're going to work on next. And for that, I cut 2 strips. And I'm actually going, 2 strips. I used the scissor side of the tools. And they are 3/4 of an inch. And the length on this one is 4 1/4. And the other one is 3/4 of an inch. And it's 4 7/8. So the first one you'll cut at 4 1/4, and then 4 7/8, and they are 3 1/4. So now my mirrored cardstock. Again, you can use just your cardstock, or you can use, you've got plenty of, this was from the kit. I took everything straight from the kit. Even if you're not using a mirrored, see, this will be very cute. You can pick up one of the others. You're going to have plenty of scraps, so that means cards. We're going to have to make cards, or you could actually make another one of these. It'll be just a little different than the first one, but you have enough to make another one. And I cut the mirrored or your background cardstock at 4 1/4. Well, actually, this one is, yeah, 4 1/4 by, and I went 4. So 4 1/4 by 4, because that's what had to fit in this space. That's just the size that our page is. And I'm going to, first of all, oh, and then your white is going to be 3 7/8 by 4, because this, remember, is just a little off on the sizes. Okay. Then we have the 4 7/8 piece will go down here at the bottom. And I'll glue these. And this one is the 3, did I say 3 3/4? No, 4 1/4. See, 4 1/4 goes at the top first. I should have left it on there. There we go. 4 7/8 will go to the right hand side, and the shorter one goes to the bottom, like so. I have everything temporary, so it's wanting to bounce around. So first, the 4 7/8 by 3/4 of an inch piece. And that one's going to go down. Then we want to really make sure we get those corners down and edges. Then the shorter 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4 will go along the bottom. And I'm just going to line it up so they are, see, the same length to keep it square. Okay. Now, if you remember, this was a little off. We've got like 4 1/4 by the 4 1/8. Yep, because that's what our space allowed. So I'm going to glue that down first, and this is the mirror cardstock that we carry by Tonic. And I'm loving that they came out with this. It saves me the trouble of going to the mills, because it's, unless you're going to buy it in huge quantities, it's hard to get huge quantities at once. And you get 5 in a pack. And the colors, oh my gosh, you guys, they have teal. I think Tiffany has shown all the colors. If not, go over to her YouTube channel, Let's Get Scrappy, and she has the colors, and they have the mirror cardstock to match the glittered paper. Is that not the coolest? And we have, not in June, but in July, we have a special paper coming out. And I'm excited because the mirror cardstock and the glitter paper is going to match beautifully. Now I'll put the glue on here, and I'm going to give you the size again. Because remember, this is going to be smaller. Whatever you cut for your photo, it's 4 inches by 3 7/8. Hi, Virginia. And then we're just going to center that. And that gave us that really pretty gold mirror border. And the white always loves to pick up everything off your fingers, off your table. Now, so in your Let's Scrapbook, on mine, um, it's right here. It's the retreat. And the only difference is I had used a circle that says these are my people. Oh, no, it isn't here. So the retreat and these are my people. I did not, and you could also use crop. So if you wanted to use the word crop, pretty cute. Now, when it comes to not Echo Park, Doodlebug or Bella Boulevard, it's best if you go through, you kind of look at the pictures and and then you lay everything out. That's what we've been doing in our retreats, which is really nice because we do kind of a homework video with you, because this can take a while to get everything dug out. I'm going to start with the retreat. It's going to go down here at the bottom. You'll want your foam squares, foam tape, or what you like to use. And what we're going to do with retreat, I only want to add glue to the bottom, maybe like 1/8 of an inch, not much at all, because we want to be able to tuck a photo and kind of decide where you want that at the bottom of your photo frame. I'm just going to dab that. And this one I could not resist. Yes, the homework videos, which we do for our retreats now, are just amazing. They just really, they not only help the designer, they help you guys. And we get to spend more time together. Okay, you're going to see I add adhesive to everything. Okay, now we'll still be able to tuck a photo. And don't get it too close to the edge. And glue gives you that minute. So see, I almost got too close to the edge. And then eat, sleep, scrap, repeat. That will be a fun place. One thing we did at the last retreat, they had little name cards, and then everybody at the table could sign it. So again, this would be fun at a crop or retreat, whoever's at your table. Have them put their name there, have them sign it and put the date, and then you can tuck it in there with the photo. And that page is done. And then for this one, this is what we're going to do next. And this, I'm going to show you how I cut this. Because remember, we have some angles here. So the first piece we want to cut will be from, we're still using this, we're going to use this same piece. We used it on our little accordion. But you want a piece that is 5 inches by 4 7/8. We're going to go ahead and glue that down. 5 inches by 4 7/8. And always do a dry fit, because you only have 1/8 of an inch difference, and you don't want to slap it down and realize it went on the wrong way. Now, one thing you're going to notice here, mine's a little short, and that yours will be too. It's okay, because we're just going to cover it here. With this little flap guy. Now, this bottom that's going to go across the front here, this one is 1 7/8, and I cut mine by 5. You might even want to go a little bit longer, like 5 1/8, but I went 5. And I am going to Lay it down as if I'm matting it. That's where your temporary will come in help into play. And I need to move this over just a little. Now it's okay if you cut it and you notice it's a little bit short. See, we're gluing that over it, so don't worry about that. But I'm going to hold it there so it's longer, because see, we've got this little corner here. And we want to angle, because we angled this pocket when we made it in order to be able to fold. Okay, so now I've marked it with my pencil. And you can cut it with your scissors. You can put it in your trimmer. One thing with your scissors, just try and make long cuts. Don't try and go, cut, 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 cut. Try and make long, straight cuts. Then I'll match that up. Just trim a little off that corner. Easy peasy. So the main thing is to go ahead and match that angle. Don't worry about this left-hand side because it's going to be covered. We're going to do that to every one of these pockets. Okay, now this little flap, just where the pocket meets, we're going to add adhesive. And close that. So this is 3/4 of an inch. And my strip of yellow is 5/8 of an inch. Oh, and I should have told you, you can also put, let me come over, you can put this on the outside or you can put this on the inside. Okay, it doesn't matter. But I'm putting this on the outside so that we have the plaid coordinating here. So it is 5/8 of an inch by 4 7/8. So we're going to do the same thing again. I do have a little bit of an angle here. I'm not going to worry about making that angle where we angled it because I'm putting pom-pom over this. Now for the pom-pom, you can use score tape and art glitter glue. I am going to use my glue gun, so I'll turn it on. And I just want to round the corner to match. If you did round the corners, and I'll match this to the top, and then if I need to take any off the bottom, I'm just going to do a slight angle there. Like I said, you won't see it. I just don't want it too long. Okay, I'll glue this down. And in your kit, so if you bought the kit, which you don't have yet because they just went out today, but if you do want to buy the kit, hop on the website because we have a few more left. We were able to put a couple more together. I'm going to grab my pom-poms and we're going to use the yellow. This is the only place. Again, you can use you can use, if you want blue here instead. Oh, Rosie, this is the Weird Memories. I should have some more online. I know we have more coming. I love it. I think it is great. And the only thing I forgot to grab again with some glue sticks but I had some sitting right here. So we should be able to make it just fine, but oh, I hope there's enough in there. So with my pom-poms, one thing, these guys can be little boogers. They're fun, but they're boogers. Now see, I gave you plenty, but you can decide where you want to end them. The problem is you're going to be a little off because you do not want to cut. You have to cut in between here. If you do, you're going to have a hanging, your little pom-pom's going to hang. You're not going to be able to really use it. So stretch it. Okay, I want you to really stretch it. You're going to stretch it out. And what I'm going to do here, so I'm going to bring it up here. So I'm going to cut. Now cut in between there. If you cut one of these off, then you're going to have a loose one. I'm just going to start first by putting my glue. I may use score tape for this and come back. I'm going to have to find my glue sticks. So you can use score tape also, but you're going to you want adhesive with it. I will go back and hot glue this. Gosh, my glue sticks, I thought they were right here on my desk. But they're not. Okay. So I'm just going to lay it down. It will be taken off. If I was going to put this down, I would use clothespins and I would do it at the end so it can just dry. My pom-poms are going to come out this way. And then you're just going to pull it tight, and then you can trim. Now with just score tape, that's not going to stay. But it'll stay, I mean, it'll stay for a few minutes, a few days even, but it's not going to permanently stay. And that's where that goes. The little yellow guy will go there. Now on the inside, I've made this little, but I'm going to use a little different here. Let me show you. We're going to make this little thing to go in. So you're going to want here. Okay, let me find out which one it is. Here we go. You're going to want a piece of cardstock that is 4 inches by 8. And you're going to take that 4 inches by 8 and you're going to put the 8 inch across your scoreboard and score it 4 inches. Not half inch, but you're going to score it in half, but at 4. And then this is that piece from that border paper. This time I used different. I used these. I used those before. So you can choose. And that piece you probably already have cut off. But see, it's these little buttons right here. And I cut this one. I cut it at 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8. I'm going to go ahead and glue him down. So what I'm going to do is just give you the measurements. Well, no, I'll glue him down with you. Let's put our rainbows up the right way. So 7 inches wide. And so, yeah, I am just going to give you so we can keep going. And this comes out to be 3 7/8 by 3. Now that is the same size, 3 7/8 by 3 for all of these inside mattings. And the yellow again is going to be, this will be 1 inch. And so I did trim this down to 2 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8. Okay, the back is 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. I lost my book. And now that will pop down into the pocket. And this is where we have kind of a design change. But that's okay. We had a typewriter and we had this because they were in the ephemera where we did the substitute on the ephemera. We don't have like anything equivalent of a typewriter per se, but we do have these cute circles, and you do have them inside of your the words. And the only thing with these, which is really cute, the let's stick together, you will want to destick the back. Now you also have some things you can fussy cut off the papers if you didn't cut into your cut aparts all the way. And yeah, I couldn't believe they were completely out of the ephemera. So I am going to use let's stick together. And I'm just using my powder here, the EK tools. I just keep rubbing it till I can feel, yeah, now see it's nice and smooth. Because I want it to stick over my pocket, but I don't want it to stick onto the mats. So let's stick together. And then you can add some really cute little words. Oh, I need to show you on this. Across the top, I did use the I Love Scrapbooking. This one right here. And I'll put that one on later because I want to be able to glue it. Then that will stick down into the pocket. And you certainly also can use any of the words that are inside of this packet, except for we're going to use a couple more of these. So you can go back and get those all put in there. Lots of fun words. Lots of fun words. Okay, we have this little guy. This is where I want to use a magnet. And I don't want to forget to put it down, so we're going to do that right now. So if you want to use a magnet, you don't really have to. You can have it just kind of flap in there, and it doesn't, the weight of the paper will make it so it does lay there good. You won't have to worry. It won't get in the way of things. What just happened here? Here we go. Okay. And you can use a small magnet if you want. I just don't have any. Okay, front cover is a little bit shorter. All these are going to be the same, but for the front cover, and I am going to just use some of that silver, I cut my first piece at 2 7/8, and it's just short of 3 3/4 long. So just go 3 3/4 long, and you can trim it if you find it's too long once you cut your little strip. That's not where it goes. it goes back here. It goes on this back side. And then my little piece, which is actually what you're going to do, you're going to cut this whole length, 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. Then you're going to take this little guy and you're going to cut, okay, it's all together. You're going to cut 1 inch off the bottom. Then we're going to turn it around. That's where, if this is too long, once you set this here, I like a little bit of a border. I'm going to cover it, so it really don't matter if it overlapped, but I still didn't want it to. You can trim a little bit off of this. So cut it at 4 7/8 and then just cut 1 inch off. And we're going to turn it around and use the heart side. Whoops, I just whistled, sorry. And then I took a little strip that's 1/2 inch. Nope, 3/8 of an inch. And it is the 2 7/8. I think I was saying 3 7/8, wasn't I? It's 2 7/8. And that's super, super cute right there. And then if you want to add a little sticker or anything that matches, I would, again, just remove half of the stickiness so you can tuck a photo. And that matches those little buttons. Just a little glue on the bottom. And there you go. Okay, let me give you the measurements and I'll show you which ones I used. So I used the I Love Scrapbooking, again, 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. And you'll just glue those right. No, this is the short guy. Sorry. The red hearts are 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. So 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. And these two inside pieces will be your 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. So I'll glue this down so I don't lose it. And if you have one of those really cute little cameras, not cameras, but printers, that'll create the 3-inch pictures, these are the perfect size. I did a design change again. So you can put either one that you want. These are your 2 5/8 of an inch pieces. The original book has this on the outside, and I just changed it to the hearts because I wasn't paying attention, but you can do either. Again, 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. Here's our 2 3/8. No, 2 7/8 by 4 3/8. 4 7/8. Oh, my eighths! I'm getting them all mixed up tonight. 2 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. There we go. You can't win for losing because I try and make things so we can cut in whole numbers. Then you have to make your bases with the 5/8 or the, so there's no getting away from these eighths in measurements, is there, in crafting? Okay, cute place for photos. Again, same thing that we just did, 1 7/8. And I believe I did cut this a little long by 5 7/8. So we're going to round the corner if you did. That definitely needs to match. So you can take a clothespin, turn it over, and we're just going to draw. But this is going to be a pocket. So we do have a couple of things to do. So there's my marking. I'll just trim that and straighten it up. Or you can do it in your cutter. We'll take just a hair more off. Okay. Now, we're not going to glue anything else down until we create our pockets. Now, if you remember, this was that piece that we did the fold over. So I did cut this again at 4 7/8 by 5 7/8, and this is from the multi-stripe. And the back side here was from the back. And you can choose which stripes. We also are going to use this on the front cover. And the first thing we want to do is go ahead and glue this down, because it depends on what you're using. If you're going to if you want to punch a notch and you're using your envelope punch board, well, you definitely don't want this glued down, because it'll make it more difficult. Because see, I could put this in I could finagle my envelope punch board, but I'm going to use my handy dandy little notcher that we have in the store. And I just want to bring up my flap, because I don't want the notch, to be too close, because we're going to pull out a tag. So I think I'll just go here on the purple and orange. I'm just going to open this up. Yes, you can make envelopes with this too, by scoring and punching, if you don't, if you're not a fan of the envelope punch board. So that goes backwards. Now this is, like I said, this is going to become a pocket. So we want to now glue along this top and along this side. Okay. Oh, this is the pocket, but we only want to glue this outside edge. Now on the inside, I did put a little tiny piece. Oops. And I want to just It doesn't even matter what size. You don't even have to put one in there. But we just sealed it up, so I'm going to cut this at 4 3/4 or 5 3/4 long. And that really is long. And I really only want like an inch. Otherwise it'll be a little difficult to get it in there possibly. Next one, we'll do this first, but you don't even have to do this, like I said. Oh wait, no, this is not. This is only 5 1/2. So we need this to be 4 3/4. And I'll take another 1/8 off. Okay, once you have your fit, like I said, next time I'll be smart and do this first. So this is the back side. Okay, now we have a tag that goes on the inside. And actually, you'll make 2 of these. And you'll make 2 of them that are 5 3/4 by 4. And then I cut the graph paper for this, and I would wait and I would make these at the end. Those were leftovers. And for the second one, I did these were, the leftovers. So I wouldn't go cutting these yet. But when you do make your tags, I use our this one because it makes them look like they're tags. And you can even punch a hole if you want, put twine on there. And then my cardstock to mat is going to be 3 7/8. I cut mine 5 5/8. Okay. And then that will fit nicely inside of there. So you'll have 2 of those. And you can leave them square. Well, we're getting stuck on, oh, it's because the paper's not down. So I won't do those on camera, and we'll just keep on moving here. Oh, also, now inside here, I did make, we're going to do a tag. Oh, and we want to decorate real quick. So we're going to take from our words, we're going to take, I love this hobby. And then I did give me all the papers. Just give me all the papers. Oh, where'd that come from? Again, you have so many cute words. So many. Just the girls. Now, I have to tell you, we have a husband that comes. So I was thinking, I really want to put just the girls, but he's there. So that's not fair. So see, now you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to all the ephemera. One thing I know we're going to use is this flag. So let's go ahead and get our flag out now. And There's just the girls if you want. I love scrapbooking, and just glue it down. So many fun words. So the one I'm looking for is I love this hobby. No, this is the one thing I did not do. Is get this sorted. And, I mean, I just opened this pack last night. So I will just show you on my other one because we don't want to keep digging through this. But I know it's in here. I love this hobby. Craft a Pretty Life is what I'm going to be using on one of them. So let me show you the finished tags. I love this hobby went here. Again, this was one of the ephemeras. So you can use one of the sticker sheets like I did over here. This is the one Bella Boulevard is out of. And this is the little tag. I did this one a little different for this one. And I'll give you these measurements here. And then I did put handmade at the top. Your tag is going to be 3 1/2 by 5. And I did use the graph paper, and I used this piece, which was, I cut it. There we go. No, it goes this way. It really was that piece. So the first one we're going to cut, which is the back of these darling button flowers, is going to be 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. That goes on the back. And your partial one here is 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. So this one comes out to be 1 3/8, again by 3 3/8. And then I just put that on the side, and then you can put a sentiment right across the top. Again, this is 5 inches long, and this is where I put "Give me all the paper." Then that will just pop inside of there. Now, when we were creating this book, if you remember, my top, I cut it wrong. And I do need to go ahead and round all these edges. So I'm going to round all my edges. Nope, that's not my rounder. And I'm going to cut these. I'm not going to glue because we're going into 2 hours. Can you believe it? So if you have your corners and you need to round them. So yours should actually be 3 inches. If you remember, I cut mine wrong while I did the tutorial. But that's okay too, because I went with it and it's going to be just fine. But double check. Yours aren't 3 inches, they're 2 3/4. So if you cut yours the correct length and didn't cut them off too short like I did, it will be 2 3/4. So you'll cut a 2 5/8 by 4 7/8. But as you know, mine is too short. And it is going to be 5 7/8. Now mine came out to be 1 7/8. And I cut into my kaleidoscope paper. And I cut 2 of those. And then the back side of your kaleidoscope. I love that graph. It's so fun. We'll go here. Again, measure yours to see where you cut them. Okay. Now our bottom piece is 1 7/8. The buttons, 1 7/8 by 5 7/8. And we're going to cut them the exact same way that we did the first two. So I'll cut this one. And then our inside, which is the floral buttons, the green, is 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. Okay, and they do match, so they mirror each other. Let me just go ahead and round that off. This little guy's getting his corner beat up. And again, you're just going to put that there. Best thing to do is, if you don't have the temporary tape here, clothespin and pencil. And cut. Okay, then you'll do both the same way. I wanted to also show you something where the ephemera didn't have the typewriter, and if you want this typewriter very similar to the ephemera piece, you can fussy cut this, because you can make this card just using your see, I made it just using those border strips. It doesn't have to be the cut apart, so you can fussy cut this out and put that even here, and I think I will. I'm going to fussy cut this for here instead of using it to close. So if you need to make another closure for your flap, these are 6 inches by 4 inches, and on the 6-inch side I scored a 3, and they will, we'll glue it, we need to glue the pocket down on the outside edges. Don't glue your inside edge. If you do, your book is not, it's not gonna want to go together. I don't know why, but it does stop it from going together. So that is all I did here. I didn't decorate these, but you can put some words, anything you like. So let's go ahead, and I want to just kind of walk through now and show you. These are very similar to what we did on the front page. In fact, it's identical, except when we go to do our decorating here. So yeah, let's do this one, because we made that pocket here, so we do need to add a strip, and then we need to add pom-pom across the top, just like we did before. So I'm going to go ahead and round this corner. Whoops, first I'm going to cut it. Oops. I'm getting ahead here. Okay, first we need to cut it. Oh, I don't need to cut much either. It's 1 7/8. They're going to be the same measurements. 1 7/8, and I had cut this by 5. So it's very easy to just angle it, because when we angled that side pocket, it was just a very simple, just a simple angle. Then remember, if you happen to mess it up a little bit, that's okay too, because this is going to cover any shortage there. This is a very, very forgiving book. Okay, on this one, I put this on the outside. I'm just going to do an angle here. You're not even going to see this unless you do it a different way. Because see, this is going to be glued on the top. So my pocket goes on top, and then I did already grab out cute, fun little, whoops, the glitter here. The glitter is a little touchy. Takes a little more to hold it down. I do need to cut a little strip here. So we're going to cut a strip that is going to be 5/8 of an inch. I'd cut it 3/4 first, and then 4 7/8. And I need to get a little piece of that. And I'm pretty sure we have a little piece left. Actually, we have a pretty big piece left. So I'm going to go 5/8, but I'm going to go just a hair over 5/8, but not but not quite 3 7. I mean, not quite 3 3/4. And 5 4 7/8. Should be stuck now. There we go. So, like I said, we have a little pocket here, and I didn't make a tag, but you can. The reason I didn't make a tag is I ended up putting the pom-pom there, but you could still get a little tag in there. And your little tag would only be about 3 inches. Well, measure it. You probably could get a 4-inch tag in there. This is 3.5. Oh yeah. And then you'd make it probably 6 inches long. And the same way that I did the yellow, and you do have more. Some of this is going to get used on the outside of the book. And I just added my pom-pom. Again, you want to just put it down, check your sizing, and it could even hang over the edge just a little bit, but you don't want to cut your pom-pom off, or bring it over here and then pull it tight. And that's what I would do. And use hot glue. The pom-poms are kind of oddly placed, I noticed. Then you just want to stretch it side to side. And you can glue that down. So I'll use my hot glue gun, and I'll get that put down. Now, this is where I did use one of our Bella Pops. And I used the cute little camera. And you can use fun or yay, it doesn't matter. I used yay on this one, and I made the little tag the same we did at the front, but it's not a flip. Okay, and I have that too, so we'll put that on. I did use fun this time because that's the one. Whoops, that's the one I grabbed. The little pendant. Down that will go. Remember that glitter, it needs a little extra help. And the Bella Pop. This is why we made the hinge just a little bit bigger for our Bella Pop. So we aren't going to do the cover tonight. So I'll be doing the cover with you on Monday. because we would be here till 10 o'clock. And I will have some pretty upset doggies. So Bella Pop. And then you have these cute stars. And I'm going to put the green up here at the top. And then you have a yellow one that's really popped up there. And I love that they put these cute little embellishments. And then my black one. Okay, that one is that. Now, let's go and do this because this is a little pocket. And then inside of your little pocket, I did take these out. You're going to want to get out. I took out these cute little tags that we're going to pop down in there. And what I did is I took the pink and white ribbon. Like I said, you're going to have extra. And I just tied them together. Again, cute spot just to write down those little memories. And so you're going to have extra. You can use anywhere you want on your kit. We're just going to tie it into a bow. Now, first thing we want to do is this inside piece before we make this into a pocket. And it is 2 7/8 and 2. So I just picked one of my scraps. 2 7/8 by 2. And I'm just going to put that down there. We have an angle. Remember that? So we have that angle. So I took a camera piece. We're going to cut it at 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. Now I want to place, well, you can place it here on the outside too. If you have a paper clip, just clip it here or clip it with a clothespin. We're going to turn this over. And I just want you to follow the angle of that pocket. For this one, I will put this in my cutter. Now, before I glue it together, I just want to check. So the angle looks good. It's just too long on the bottom. That happens when you cut those angles sometimes. So I'll just take 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Once I cut this, I usually don't go back and alter it on bigger pieces because it just kind of messes with that angle. I don't know why. Okay. Okay, we're almost there, I promise, for tonight. And then we'll pick up Monday and we'll do the shaker and do our cover piece. Now I'm just going to add my adhesive here and across the bottom to create a pocket on this one. And then this is where I popped those guys in and the ribbon kept it from falling in. Okay, and the back side, remember that piece I showed you how I cut? It's going to be 2 7/8 by 4 7/8. So I'll glue it down and then I'm not sure what happened here. I lost my paper. Okay, this though. Okay, this is an this I used our border strip here. I used this other side and I cut it at 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. Now, this is exactly how I created this pocket. So you're just going to repeat right here. So that is just a repeat of that one right here. Now, this is where I used different matting this time though. I used this one. 5 by 3 1/2, and then you're just going to mat it 4 7/8 by 3 3/8. I used the till this time, and Craft a Pretty Life. I just glued the Pretty Life. It hangs over the top, and that is what sits down in this pocket. This time it will be this one. But remember, just you can go back. Oh, and Scrappy Friends came from your package there. Identical to this page. Okay, no difference. Now for your back, and we'll do a little bit more decorating on Monday with the other puffy stickers and things. So this back page is a photo, just a photo spot. And this is where I cut my matting out of the glitter at 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. Now this top matting, 5 5/8 by 3, oops, 4 5/8 by 5 5/8. And we're going to glue that down, and then we'll glue this into the book, and that is it, except for we'll do the cover on Monday. I'm pretty sure we'll be about the same time. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll be an earlier. Let's do earlier on Monday. Might even do morning. We'll get that cover. Yeah, I think morning sounds good. We'll get the cover done, and we'll do the decorating and go over anything I missed. But it's pretty straightforward and fun. I think pretty easy. And now we're going to be stuck to the board. It's temporary, but it still sticks. And then this will be a fun photo spot. Yeah, make sure you get those corners. Okay, guys, and there, can't believe I did that. There is your cute little Let's Scrapbook album. Got some decorating to do, and I'll finish all my pockets for Monday. Oh, good night, Marcy. I think this is just a fun page. I really like this. I'll get everything else glued down, and I'll find out where this piece of paper went. Maybe I didn't cut it. And for those of you sticking around for a minute, let me show you what we'll see. We may be starting next week. Oh yeah, this closes much better with that spine. My other one alligatored a little bit because of this camera, but it's still cute. Okay, let me give you a quick rundown of the 10 by 10. Now here's the thing. We have 2 neighbors. Their daughters, like I said, are getting married. In fact, they're using our cart. So I got to make 2 wedding albums. And I did do a sneak peek of this. It's the Echo Park, and we have more coming. This bride, her colors are actually these colors, but she's using terracotta with them. So I will be adding these to the cover. And this is more of a album I wanted with the bride and the groom. So inside we'll have great big, because it's a 10-inch album, great big photo mats, lots of picture space. And we'll see. We should be starting this after next week. Long, great photo mats. And more of this paper did just come in. So like I said, we have, this side's not finished, this side is. So this is the bride side. It's not done. I'm hoping to get it done this weekend. So on the bride side, it's all about the bride, her bridal party, and something, and like I said, perfect colors for this girl's wedding. Actually, pretty, you can put just about any color with this. And so it's not, if you want a family history, maybe with the maternal and paternal, this would be a great album for that. Whoops. And then we have what we call, right, an old-fashioned waterfall, but it's going to come out so that she can take the waterfall out, look at it, or put things in the pocket, or maybe, how people, especially at a wedding, will want to look. And she's got place here for like 20 photos. So again, it is an album that takes a lot more product, but it would also be a great family history. It'll just be awesome for a baby, but especially a wedding. Now this, I gotta finish. There's tags. It's the lay flat pocket, and I have to tell you guys, because it's just been bugging me. So the lay flat album cover, this is done that way, has been getting dogged by a couple of people, that it breaks and it cracks in other groups. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't rip. So if you have seen that in this other group, you do not have to use Tyvek, and I'm going to show you. This whole thing is made the lay flat way, and it lays so nice and flat. You're going to love it. Now this side, when I get it finished, see, this will be the groom side. So we'll have the groom. It goes all the way across. You're going to have a super big pocket here. And then there are pages with hinges. So your hinges are actually going in the middle of this book. Pretty cool, huh? With your pages. So your pages are going to be right here in the middle of the book with the hinges in the middle of the book. And these do lay completely flat. You're going to love it. I think you're going to love it. I love it. But it's big. So it's big. And if you are going to follow on the tutorial, I'll get everything out. But it does take 2 packs of artisan cardstock. You won't use all of it, but you'll want 2 packs of artisan cardstock. I mean, and it's going to take us a bit, okay? And I have just some. I have to do a little bit of, I got to lay this down. Well, I just dropped it. We have to do a little bit of refitting, but you do need a clip at the top, but it fell. So I'll just pop these in and get my clip after I come off the camera. And these are going to sit right inside. And I'm hoping that we can start that next Friday, but it's big. So you guys wanted a big one, you're getting a big one. Here's the size difference. So it's big. It's big. But it was time for a new album design for weddings. And then it'll be so pretty when I get her terracotta on there. And then this one will go to our neighbor. So, thanks for joining me on Friday night, everybody, and I hope you have a fabulous weekend. But I'll be back on Monday, and we're going to finish up our shaker front, and that little guy needs to get fixed. Our shaker front, and we'll do our matting, and then we're going to be completely done. Okay, and I will see you on Monday. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.